Hey guys, so today I'm going to be giving you an in-depth haunt guides for her abilities. Her abilities are quite unique. The whole agent is honestly pretty unique, very strong in my opinion. High A or low S tier. Definitely a good replacement for Sova on some maps not, like Breeze I found. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the guide. So the first tip is haunt is best for high areas. So you can think of like this roof as being a really good spot for this ability. The cool thing about this ability is you can actually drop it whenever you want. So if I throw it, you can reactivate it and it will drop where you reactivate it at.
Where are you?
So as you can see, this really scans like all of sight, which is kind of crazy. So you can get lineups for this, but you really can't throw it very far, which is another thing you're gonna realize. Like if I try to throw that to there from here, you're not gonna make it. I actually do make it, okay. So, but like if I wanted to throw it from all the way back here, which is probably where you'd want to throw it from because you don't really want to be throwing this with an ability out in the middle of long, right? So if I'm trying to throw it from back here, you can throw it like toward, you can probably get it in a pretty good spot. So like this still clears close, but really this area is not great for her, but I also found that lineups can be useful. So I kind of came up with my own. If you guys want a video of this, let me know in the comments for fade lineups. But you stand in this corner, you run and jump.
I'll find you.
And then as you can see, this is going to scan pretty much all of sight, and it's pretty nice. This is pretty solid. There's one blind spot, I think it's like right below here though, so you have to be aware of that. Overall, this is her signature ability, so make sure that you're using this frequently, just because, you know, it recharges. I also have another one over here for A, so you can come right here, run and jump and throw. And this scans like everyone. I did it yesterday and it scanned 3 or 4 people almost every time. People start to get used to it and then they'll eventually shoot it, but it's still good for the first few rounds. So next tip is use ult for pushing, retaking, or stopping a push. So what does her ult do? Well, her ult deafens, does decay damage, and also attaches trails. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain what trails do. So your Prowler can attach to trails, and whenever your Prowler attaches to a trail, it is going to increase speed and go straight to the enemy that the trail is attached to. And so this basically means that your Prowler is going to get someone for sure, and that is really powerful. We'll talk about the Prowler in a second, but first let's talk about this ult. So I'm just going to go and ult so you guys can see what it looks like.
My ult is ready.
So pretty much, again, this is going to deafen, which means they can't really hear anything at all. Decay damage, which is kind of like whenever you touch a Viper wall. And again, it's going to attach the trail. So after I ult, instantly I'm going to be throwing... You also hear a noise, and depending on how many enemies you hit, if you hit 2 or 3, you're going to hear 2 or 3 noises. It's like a ding sort of noise. And you can throw this immediately, and this will automatically attach to it, so you don't really have to control it. It'll attach to the trail, and then it'll start zooming toward the enemy. And then if the Prowler hits someone, it'll also make a loud noise. So, yeah, I would just suggest using this for pushing. Also, if you want to retake, just tell your team, yo, wait, I'm going to ult for retake. Can we just chill? And then you basically just ult like this. And again, you have the Prowler, and then you could just play off of it like that. And they're all deafened. You can just run in with your team. You also have this ability.
I'll find you.
And this can scan everything, which is quite strong. But, yeah, so... Also use it for stopping a push. So for example, the only time you really want to be doing this is, say you have like 3 people on a site and you don't really need to play retake. You can just kind of say, yo, okay, I'm gonna ult, and then this is probably the spot you want to ult from. You say like, all right, I'm ulting, can we fight for site here? And then as there's like 2 or 3 running up here, you just ult, and then your team's gonna fight with this ult because they're basically just screwed, right? If they're running out and they're getting hit by that and your team's all like basically right here, that's when you want to be using your ult like that. So next tip is use Prowlers on trails for easy kills. Again, I already kind of explained this, but a trail, you get a trail from either your ults, from this ability scanning someone. So whenever you throw this, if it scans someone, you'll see them, and then it'll give you a trail, so you can just throw your Prowler on the trail like that. Or this ability, which is called Seize, will also give you a trail to someone. So other than that, you can use the Prowler to clear out close areas. It's basically like a mini drone without a trail. With a trail, it's kind of scary. This can be shot. It's kind of like Sky's dog in a way, but basically you can clear out corners. If you hold left click, you can actually control it. And I really look at the minimap when I do this. So you want to just be like clearing. I would clear like close here and then be running out to see long like this, or you could just throw it, you know, wherever you want really. it goes for a pretty good amount of time. One thing I also noticed about this is if the Prowler is just about to run out, but it sees an enemy, it'll actually automatically lock onto the enemy, and it won't run out of, like, it won't die. So, like, say it finds an enemy right here, it'll actually lock onto them instead of running out or expiring. So yeah, that's very nice, very strong, honestly, very strong ability. And again, that's gonna actually near sight people whenever it hits them. So near sight is like basically omen blind, and I think it also cuts noise for a sec. It's not like deafen, but it cuts noise pretty hard. So next tip is Seize is good for slowing pushes or retaking. Lineups are also possible for this ability. So again, Seize, it's this ability whenever you throw it. Whenever that circle reaches the outer area, as you can see right there, it's gonna lock any enemies inside here. It's gonna lock them down, and this also does decay damage, I believe. So yeah, deafen and decayed. So that's kind of her like two hallmark abilities, are deafen and decayed. So this is good. For example, you can also you can drop this whenever you want by reactivating the ability. So if I want to drop it like straight away, you can see I can do that. Really, when you want to do this is whenever they're like coming into sight. I think is a really good time to do that, like this. And then if you lock anyone down and then they have like your teammate has an angle from them on garage, you're really gonna be able to kill them nicely. So again, like I said, there are you can do lineups for this. So say I want to do one for default. This is very easy. All you have to do is just kind of go like this, line your crosshair up, run jump, and then as you can see, that's gonna lock everyone down in sight. Which you can do that as your team's pushing in. If you have that level of coordination on your team. If you don't, you know, unlucky. But another default lineup is right here. As you can see, this is going to really lock everyone down. I believe this has to have LOS though, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys. If you have any questions or you want lineups, leave that in the comments below. I do want to make lineups, but I'm also streaming more, guys, so if you see less guides, that is because I'm streaming not daily, but pretty frequently is my plan. So keep an eye out for that and subscribe. Peace.